Okay, today is January the 28th of 2022. I'm Dan Rogers. I'm the Potter County GOP chair. Today I'm here with Pamela Sirmon, who's running for the 320th District Court.
Yes.
Pam, welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Let's just tell the voters a little bit about who you are and what you do, and then we'll get into why you're wanting to do it again.
Okay. Amarillo native, raised in Amarillo, River Road graduate, Northside. Went to Texas Tech, bachelor's and master's in agricultural communication, worked in the ag industry. Edited a livestock journal each month, or not livestock, newspaper each week. And then I went to work for the A&M system and designed and edited agricultural publications. Decided to go to law school. Went to law school back to Texas Tech and moved to Amarillo. I did family law and criminal law, went to work for the county attorney's office, was a prosecutor, and eventually got out on my own and ran for judge. I ran for judge, and I was a county court at law judge for 20 years. And 3 years ago, I ran for the district judge, 320th, when this court became available. I'm now a state district judge, having been elected to that court.
So this will be the first time you're running for re-election.
Exactly.
Right. Very good. Let's tell the people what you do, what the 320th Court does. What kind of cases do they hear, and how does that impact the community?
Well, not everybody understands the district courts and how they work.
Right.
There are 5 district courts that serve Potter County. 2 are Potter County district courts only, myself and the 108th. 2 courts do Potter and Randall, which is the 47th and the 181st. Nope, 181st and 251st. The 47th does Potter, Randall, and Armstrong. So people are like, why are you not on my ballot if they're in Randall? And I'm like, because I only do Potter. Yeah. The district courts do felony criminal cases, family cases, civil cases as high as you can go, and tax cases. So family, criminal, civil, and tax.
So if I don't pay my taxes, I end up in your court?
You do. There's five district courts, and we split them up equally, and we do the tax cases. There's an entity, a law firm that represents the Potter County, the hospital district, the water district, and Clucks.
I see. So didn't they change some of the monetary amounts at JP's?
They have. When I was a young lawyer 32 years ago, you would sue in the JP courts if you had a dispute up to like $1,000, and they've inched that up. And I think last time I checked, it was $10,000. A JP court is manned by someone that's not necessarily a lawyer. You could be a lawyer, but most are not. They're a guy that was a plumber or an electrician, and then he ran for office to be the justice of the peace. And so we try to keep those higher dollar lawsuits in the courts where the lawyers are the judges. So it kind of is like, wow, $10,000 is a lot. I consider that a lot. I still think it ought to be in courts with lawyer judges, but it's not.
I think the legislature just increased it to $25,000, didn't they?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. It's really not on my spectrum. So I'm up in the multi-millions, so I don't keep up with it. But if I started practicing law again, I might be surprised at how high it's gotten.
You just take the cases that they give you.
The district clerk has a computer, and they just assign them to us randomly.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. So people can't choose which court they get.
Exactly.
It's assigned by the district clerk at random.
It's in the old days, they had these little like bingo balls that were colored, and they ran them around in a cage, and if a yellow ball got out, it was assigned to the 251st or whatever. Now the computer has a random chip in it, and it decides how they're assigned.
So how did, when the Potter County got hacked, how did that affect your court and assigning of cases?
It stopped everything. We were down, I don't remember if it was the end of April or 1st of May of 2019, but we didn't go up and running again with e-file and all the computer documents that we receive. Everything has to be e-filed unless you're a pro se person, and you can walk in and hand your paperwork to the clerk. That pro se without a lawyer. It probably took 2.5 months. During that time, we were able to continue because, we had the paperwork. The lawyers had their files. And so if they would bring a copy of the pleadings and then we would just use their paper copies, and we would continue to work. But it shut us down. We were not efficient during that time, but we still were able to keep moving. But they had to rebuild all those records from stored information.
So do you have a big backlog of cases? Let's say somebody files a suit. How long before they're going to be in trial in your court?
Well, when we came, I'll say we, my staff and I, we moved over from the other court to this court in January 1st of 2019, and it was a mess. The prior judge that had been there and his staff had worked towards retiring for a couple of years. They hadn't had a jury trial in almost 2 years, so it was a mess. So we spent quite a bit of time cleaning that up. I call dismissal dockets routinely. A case that is more than 24 months old can be dismissed for want of prosecution, but you have to give them notice. And so we would go through, I personally went through every case assigned to my court in groups. I started with the old ones, and I read through them to see where their pleadings are, should they be ready to try their case, and I would notify them of a dismissal docket or a trial docket. And so we started cleaning those up. We are currently pretty dang clean civilly and family-wise, and that's because I've probably in 3 years called 7 family law dismissal dockets, a couple of bond forfeiture dockets, and maybe 3 civil dockets, 1 a year. The problem, of course, you can't dismiss criminal cases for want of prosecution. I can't dismiss the state's case. And so the only way you can move those is through trials. And so we're behind, but doing well. Twice a year, my bailiff runs a list of everybody that's in jail, not on bond, but in jail. In April of 2021, we ran a list of anybody that had been in jail for more than 1 year, and we had 20 people on it. And before I came here today, we ran the list, and 18 of those cases are resolved. That included 5 murder cases, and so 2 of those murder cases are still pending. And they're set, one's set in April and one's set in May. So we're cleaning those up, and he made me a new list this week, and everybody is less than a year besides those 2 individuals. So we're doing good with our in-custodies, which have to come first. You have to do those first by statute. Our out-of-custodies, we're behind. We're realistically behind. We have cleaned up through the 2018, 2019s is where we're at. You still have some that are a little older than that, and it's because of problems. They weren't arrested for a long period of time, or it's a murder case. But I would say everything pending now is a 2018 or newer, and that's pretty good.
So if they're not in custody, that means they're not in jail.
That is correct. They're on bond or they're on warrant. That is, we've never picked them up. They got out and got on warrant. Can't
find them.
Yes, the unfounds, yes.
Well, that makes sense. You want to take care of the people we're paying to house first.
It's like $50, $60 a day to keep somebody housed, and the statutes say they have to come first. And so we always, every jury trial, we put half in custody, half walking, what's out on bond, because we want to keep our new cases moving as well as our old cases.
Yeah. I guess, so you have the county courts, so you have the JP, and then you have the county court. So if somebody appeals a case, or if it's over the $25,000, it goes to county court first. Is that right?
A JP appeal, if you got a final judgment, I'm trying to think, boy, this has been a while. If you would go to the county courts at law or straight to the court, it has to go to the county courts at law. Mm-hmm. A county court at law appeal goes straight to the Court of Appeals. It doesn't jump to district because they're a trial court just like we are. They just get assigned. In our instance, each county creates their own county court at law, and it's whatever you create. Like in the big cities, county courts at law might just do GOV, just do probate, just do civil, just do misdemeanors. Ours are general jurisdiction, the 2 that are in Potter, so we do some of everything, but they only do misdemeanor crime, not felony crime.
The county court.
County court at law. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The at-law part means they were created by a statute.
Well, I learned something today.
Well, people always go, so you're the county judge. No, that's Nancy Tanner. Yeah. We have 254 counties. We have 254 county judges. They're administrators of the county. County court at laws are trial courts.
Yeah, a lot of people think that the county judge is a judge. She's really the executive of the county.
She is. She can carry a criminal caseload. In small counties, they do. They hear the misdemeanors, and she does the probates.
But a county judge doesn't have to be an attorney.
No. So if you go to a small county in the Panhandle, you might be tried for DWI by a guy with no law degree. Yes, because he's the county judge.
Well, I think that the voters like to hear that and understand that, because most people don't understand how that court system's structured.
I think that's true.
Because most of them don't ever have to
go to the courthouse.
That's right.
Good for them.
They just pay the taxes.
Right.
To pay for all the cost of it.
Yes.
Is there any ideas you have on how to make your court or any of the other courts more efficient, or do you think you have that under control?
Well, of course, when COVID hit us, March of 2020, we had to get creative, and it's interesting what's come out of it. We have gotten more efficient in a lot of ways in different areas. Like our in-custody inmates are no longer transferred from the jail to the courthouse to do a plea. It's done over the Zoom system. Mm-hmm. And that has helped with the sheriff's cost of transporting and having those deputies out of their place to guard and to transport. And that has worked really well. So we've gotten some things that are moving better and quicker because of COVID, but we're all trying to find new ways to work. Part of any courthouse works better if you just show up for work. People in the building and people getting their job done will move the cases.
Yeah. Yeah, technology, I mean, some of that could probably stay. I mean, why would you want to bring them out of the jail if you didn't have to?
20 years we did it in county courts at law with misdemeanors. We did video pleas, and the felony courts were like, not doing, we got to bring them all in. And then COVID hits, and they're like, you can do those on video. And we're like, oh, really? We did them for 20 years that way. Really? And yes, it is a better way to do it. It's a security issue. Nobody gets transported around.
That's right. There's a lot of benefits to it. Yeah. Well, very good. So why do you want the voters to reelect you?
Well, I just turned 60. I'm not ready to go home. I have a good professional staff. My bailiff and I have been together 23 years. My court coordinator, 16 years. My court reporter, 4. We know what we're doing. We do it well. And if you want to start over, you want to start over. But we're working hard and we're getting the work done. And I'm still very interested in doing this work.
Very good. Do you have a website or anything people can go to if they want to learn more about you, or phone number? Or
really bad Facebook page because I'm not a Facebooker. I've never done that. But I created one for this, and I'm adding little bits of information. But if you want to call me, my number is 806-678-0348. I'll answer the phone, and I'll chat with you if you have concerns, things you want to talk about. I know the Amarillo Pioneer put out their answers to their questionnaires this last week. Legal Women Voters answers to questions are out this next week. We have a forum with the Amarillo Pioneer on February 3rd at 7 at the Veteran of Foreign War on 8th Street, I think is the street they're on. So we have the NAACP forum tomorrow from noon to 3. So we still have some forums and people can see us together, us and our opponents, or just to talk to us individually.
So you're going to get everybody to come out to vote?
I want people to come out to vote. People say, well, it takes money to get elected. No, it takes votes to get elected.
Yeah.
The money just helps with the advertising.
That's right. That's it. All right. Well, we sure appreciate you coming by today, and good luck, and we will see you at the next forum.
Well, thank you for having me today. I really appreciate it.